Okay, well, like I said, like she was saying, my name is Quinn. I live in Lincoln, just same class, just online, okay? My speech is about the Kepler mission, right? Aptly named for nothing besides what we know of, okay? Kepler mission is NASA's first mission that's designed to find aliens, okay? Which is kind of weird because not a lot of people know about it. I think they should. So, as a general question, people normally think that aliens do exist or don't. Who here does? Yeah? Half and half? See, I don't get a lot of maybes. People either say, yeah, absolutely, or no. But, like, after I watch Independence Day, I'm like, yeah, they exist, right? They just do. Plain and simple. But I've just been fascinated with it ever since, right? I think that when people say, when I heard it first, they say, Kepler, that's aliens. They're looking for aliens. And I read into it more. Well, it's not really the search for aliens, but I've just been fascinated with it. And I love learning, okay? That's just me. I like learning stuff. That's why I'm in school. That's why we're all in school, right? That's why she teaches, because she likes learning. But I have the opportunity today to share that with you, because it's something that I'm just fascinated with. So, to start off, 2014, there's an article called Life on New Planets, right? Written by Marcia Clement and the CQ researcher. She just talked about the Kepler satellite and what it's doing, okay? In 1 month, this satellite, you can see right here, found 700 planets in the spot that it's searching for that could sustain human life as we know it. 700. They thought, oh, we'll find a couple, right? But no, 700. Since then, they've found around 3,000 planets that they think that are in the habitable zone of like where we are with our sun, right? Because if where we are with Earth and our sun, we can sustain life. But if you get to like Mercury, it's too hot. Neptune, it's too cold, right? There's a zone around a certain star where you should be able to sustain life. We found 3,000 that are like that, but a lot of them are gas. About 1,200 of them can sustain life. 1,200 of these planets we found are just like Earth. Now, the differences between the planets can be quite severe sometimes. But let's talk about the satellite first, okay? Satellite, as seen here, it's about the size of a small bus, okay? Basically what it is a big telescope that NASA sent up in a rocket. We put some SPF 400 around it, right? It doesn't have the atmosphere. Like, we can't have SPF 50, that wouldn't work, right? SPF 400 into space, and it's looking at a 3,000 light year spot in space. It's orbiting the sun just like we are, but it's looking at just this one little spot in space looking for planets, right? It's pretty neat. Now, sun, right? Pretty massive. We never really think about how big the sun is, but that's Earth, okay? The size is pretty ridiculous. So, this next article always kind of makes me laugh because it's by NASA. It was in 2014 by Michelle Johnson, and she wrote, "Astronomers are confounded by massive rocky world." Okay. Now, this first one they found. I want to pass this around. Girls, you might know what these are. I borrowed these from my 3-year-old daughter. Little gems, right? You put on nails. Now, that is how big the sun is. This is an apple. This is the sun to Earth. Okay? It's about the size difference. A tiny little gem that big, you can barely even see what's on the floor. This is the sun, okay? It's astronomically bigger. Now, one of the planets we found is this big. But instead of this little dot being our sun, instead of being Earth, that's now the sun. So, from this being our sun to that being Earth, now this is the new planet we found, and that little dot is our sun. That's how big of a planet we found in this project, right? We can't comprehend how big that is, right? The human brain can't say, oh, it's as big as the sun. Oh, it's actually 4,000 times as big as the sun. We can't comprehend that, but we've measured it. We know how big it is. It's out there. But, excuse me, we found a planet. What's your name?
Amber.
Amber? Okay, so say we change the Kepler mission to the Amber mission, okay? We're searching the universe for other Ambers, okay? Now, say scientists come back and say, hey, we found one. We found an Amber, but it's a little bit bigger, and she weighs 10,000 pounds. So that's not what we expected, right? Yeah, she weighs as much as a small tank. Well, we didn't expect that. That's what we found. We found a planet that's just about the same size as Earth, right? This is Earth. This is the planet we found. But it weighs 17 times what Earth weighs. Because there's no water. It's just rock. It's solid rock. We weren't expecting that. We expect what we find in our solar system, right? We expect Neptune, gas giants. We expect Mercury, tiny little rock planets. Pluto, tiny little dwarf planets. We weren't expecting it to be just a little bit bigger, but weigh that much more. But we're looking in an unknown territory. We're looking in places we've never looked before. When you look at different places, you find stuff like that. Pretty simple. Another one. We found another planet. Okay. Scientists get very excited when they find planets that are very similar to Earth. Okay. In an article by the AAAS, the American Association for Advancements in Science, cool name, right? An article titled "An Earth-Sized Planet Found Within the Habitable Zone of a Cool Star." Okay, and also from 2014. Now, what they found was they found a planet that's the same size as Earth, but it rotates around the sun, but in 150 days. But the planets that are closer to it, like our Mars and our Mercury, rotate every 3 days. So, think about this planet now. This one's a little bit further away than Earth is, so it's about 30 degrees cooler year-round. So if it's 100 degrees here, it's 70 degrees there. But if it's negative 30 here, it's negative 60 there, right? But it has all these other planets tugging at it. They're going so quickly. What's gravity like? What are seasons like, Is it kind of like, man, this summer sucked. I know, but that was yesterday. Today's fall. It's great, Tomorrow's winter. I can't wait for that. It's different, but we don't know. We found that planet that I was talking about earlier. That's just that, and it's a grand scale, right? We think of exploring Earth. We can fly to Africa in a day, right? But if the planet is this much bigger than the sun, you wouldn't know what's on the other side of your planet. You wouldn't know what's over there. It's so big, it would take you thousands of years just to cross it. Just food for thought, I suppose. But to finish, on the second point, talking about Earth, right? We have all these great capabilities to look out into space, to examine this tiny little spot in space and have all these great facts about it. But what do we know about our solar system or our Earth, right? For instance, our oceans, right? Oceans make up 70% of planet Earth. Who knows how much of it we've explored? Right? No one does. 5%. 5% of our own oceans we've explored. Of our own planet. Yet we know there's a planet somewhere out in space that's 490 light years away, right? And to a scientist, that's a hop, skip, and a jump, right? Like 490, that's next door. What 490 means, by the way, that's 186,000 miles per second for 490 years. That's how long it'd take us to get there, right? And scientists think, that's so close, let's look at it, let's find out all these great things about it. Yet we don't know what's in our own ocean, right? So what would happen if you took Kepler, all the capabilities it has, and pointed it at the Pacific Ocean? What would we find? People think when they see a UFO flying over, right? Like, oh, it's an alien, that's got to be an alien. I don't know what it is. But would we not find aliens if we looked in our own oceans? It wouldn't be a UFO, it would be a USO, unidentified swimming object, right? Would that not be an alien? We've never seen it. They've been here as long as we have, presumably. We've never seen it. We've never actually looked. What would happen if we did look? What would happen if there was a Kepler 2? What happens if we had this one that had all this great success, and we set another one up? What's going to happen with that one too? Is it going to have the same capabilities? Is it going to find 3,000 new planets in one month? 5,000? 10,000? We don't know. But I think we have the technology to know, and we have the technology to look in both places at once. I don't think we should just be focusing on this, right? We spend billions of dollars sending this up into space, yet marine researchers have not much money at all per year to look in the planet we live on. Okay? I just think it's something we should look at. It's something we should focus on. Now, I want to finish with this. This is what would happen if we could put the universe into a calendar, okay? Because I think that we have a lot of time to look for things like this. I think we have a lot of time that we shouldn't rush looking for other planets to live on. I don't think we should look for, we shouldn't be scouring our ocean floors for treasures and all that. I think we have plenty of time. Here's why. Well, this is the cosmos, okay? This is what scientists believe is the Big Bang, January 1st, right? Here's human existence, okay? So every person you ever read about, every king, every battle, ancient Egyptians, that happened, everything you know, human existence, the last 14 seconds of the last minute of the last hour in the last day. 14 seconds. So there's plenty of time to look for all this amazing stuff that's happened. But I think we should focus it more, right? Kepler's doing all these great capabilities, all these great things. So let's hope it finds more. That's it. Thank you.